This is just an example of standard first date.
Guys, this is going to turn everybody on, so get your rags. Wipe off your chairs when you're done.
Never make the mistake of thinking the work is done, too.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, don't get lazy. Absolutely.
It could be like gusto fucking everybody doing all that and trying to find the inner Matt that is there.
So today we have the icon, the one and only Matt Riley.
And Matt is here to do a story leveling up our dating game.
Because he is the professional.
He's a professional
That's a title I want or I love.
choice. You have
Does that mean I'm really good at dating, or does that mean I'm like often?
Okay, he's really good at dating. And this I can say because of the dinner we went on the one time when it was your birthday event that I took you to.
Yes.
Okay.
And like the opening up of doors, the showing up, the like being dressed nice and like choosing a good restaurant and like creating experiences for people. You are a pro at dating.
Well, I appreciate that. I do just want to acknowledge that for an example of me being a good dater, you picked the date that you took me on.
Okay, that's really good. That's really good. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe you need to take both of us out on a date before we pass off this episode.
Right.
It's going to be stored. We're withholding judgment.
Earn this time.
You do need to earn it. But this is all hearsay as of now. Actually, this is what he's told us.
Yeah.
This could be a complete bullshit episode.
It's all lying.
We're still good persuaders.
He's a good liar. For all we know.
Well,
Write in. If
25.
you know any different about Matt, please write in and tell us.
Yeah. It's all feedback from
We do.
You really do.
And you do get feedback.
And I will say in 2025, I
Yes.
got a lot of feedback.
This is you were
A lot of research was done.
Yes, it was a
lot of research.
this year.
Yes.
I can say that statistically, it was a significant and material data set. Yeah,
We're going to link all of the graphs for Matt's dating
yes.
to this podcast.
I'm gonna go do take my Hinge account and do like a
Complete analysis. Yes.
just be like, okay, here's all the dates I went on, here's how much money I spent.
Please, the shit we would give to see that. Well, and
Yeah.
when you told me the other day on our video chat, like how much you spent on dates in 1 year, I was like,
Yeah.
you're doing dates right. You are doing dates right.
Well, for somebody.
Yeah.
For one half of the equation. For sure.
For one half. Yes. Okay, you were about to tell us a story before we started recording, Matt.
This is just an example of
Okay.
kind of like small town. It's not even small town. This is like Salt Lake dynamic, but
Right.
they call it Small Lake City, right?
Mhm.
So there's this one night where I was with someone who we had kind of like a friends with benefits arrangement.
Mhm.
And earlier in the day, I had been telling her about someone I had gone out with who I just thought she was so funny. She was really fun to be with. She made me laugh so hard.
Mhm.
And so I was telling this friends with benefits who was hanging out with me about this other person who was so funny. And it's getting later in the evening, and we're kind of getting a little closer to each other, and
Getting ready for the benefit part.
yeah, and
Yes.
the benefit part. And suddenly I can see on my phone, I have a Marco Polo notification,
Mhm.
and it's the funny person.
Oh.
The funny person is giving me a Marco Polo.
Mhm.
And because we had talked about it earlier, and we had just a fun, kind of friendly relationship anyway, I said, let's watch the Marco Polo. This is the person. I'll show you exactly. You can see exactly like what she's like. And so I pull up the Marco Polo, and I press play. And this is my friend taking a selfie, and she kind of like pulls the phone out and is with somebody else and said, look who I just met tonight, and is with somebody else that I had also gone on a date with. So here I am. Like with having a fun kind of make out experience with somebody and getting a Marco Polo from someone I had just been talking about, who zooms out with somebody else I had been with.
Wow.
We are.
What a tangled web we weave.
But the good news is that I had all the confidence in the world that this was just going to be a positive experience.
Yes.
I tried to.
Got to manifest a positive experience out of this.
And it was. And we were all laughing about it. I called
Right.
Paul like the next day. We were all laughing. The best part of the story is that 2 weeks later, I get another Marco Polo from the same person, like the funny girl.
Uh-huh.
And she, hi, Matt Riley, and zooms out again. Look who else I just met.
No, it was the girl that you've been on the date with originally.
No, another person. So for some reason, she is just hanging out with all these different people that I happen to be like my Venn diagram.
Happen to, or maybe
I
like
think your dating app got hacked.
My dating app.
either that,
That's sabotage. Like,
either that or the number is just it's that you've maxed out. You've maxed out Salt Lake City.
yeah,
Maxed out.
that's that. Yeah,
Stop.
yeah.
Yes.
Um,
We need
I
to
haven't
watch
done the
Big City.
exact math. I should do the exact
Right.
math, like on my Hinge.
Let's try a bigger city. Let's try like New York or Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, Salt Lake is just way too small for you.
Or just dive into polygamy.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
We
Like-
talked about this the other day.
I mean, I got
Right.
college. This is the best compliment I probably ever received in my life.
Okay, first of all, where were you?
BYU.
Okay, that's not right. And you were Mormon at the time.
Yes, freshman year
Okay.
at BYU, and we lived in, I was in the men's dorm and there was a
Mhm.
women's dorm, and I got a phone
Which
call.
one were you in?
I was in the men's dorm.
Okay. This is all important.
And just to be clear, and I got a voicemail on my phone. This was back when like you would get a voicemail on your phone, it would like flash a red light at you, and this is in the 90s.
Mhm.
And so I'm listening to this voicemail, and it was one of the other rooms of women, and there were 4 women that lived together in this other dorm room. And the voicemail said, "Matt Riley, we just want you to know that if we ever had to do polygamy again, we would all want you to be the polygamous husband because we know that you would treat all of us with respect. We would treat all of us equally with so much kindness." And I was like, they're right. Like, they're totally right. Like, I would be the best.
I would be the best polygamy husband. You would know about this.
Oh yeah. No, you'd be a great polygamist.
Yeah.
Like a really good one. But
I would
like,
be like firm but fair.
like
But
I think you're stunning. I think you're doing great, but I really like I'm not in the mood for you right now. I need her.
That's the mood. That's the like
How would you do it?
how an ideal.
home and there's 3 women that all want sex that night, that moment.
Well,
They're like,
we know the solution to that.
that you do. But we're like, but I want
This
to
is where it's all apart. This is where I would
Right,
actually
right,
tear
Matt,
it.
I want
Yeah.
sex right now, but I want you all to myself. And me and Noe are fighting over it.
Yeah.
We're like, I get Matt tonight.
Yeah.
And she's
because
like,
we're very monogamous.
we're very monogamous.
We don't wanna
Listen,
share.
We don't want to share you, but you're in this relationship and you don't have a choice.
I think this is the breaking point. I think this is like literally where
You fall apart.
Yeah,
my system breaks because I would yeah.
You get the right side of the bed, you get the left.
Here's the thing: a lot of times in polygamous homes, the women get together and gang up against the men. They become best friends, they bond, and
Yeah.
they gang
The
up
center of power actually shifts to the
Yeah.
the
the women over time.
Yes, you had talked about that on a podcast,
Yeah.
which I thought that was so interesting.
And
I would just be so proud of them. I'd be like, you are the most powerful, incredible people, and I'm just lucky to live in your radius.
like
I'm just.
And
It's an honor to even live under a roof, and I should be. I'm gonna make all of you dinner tonight. Like, and
yeah,
by the way, Matt actually talking about what a great dater he is. He's created apps for
Oh my
creating
God.
your dates.
yes,
Your
Oh.
dinner
He was,
app.
he was showing me this last night. My mind,
Comcast, like you guys. Okay.
no, my mind was blown. I was like, you created an app just for yourself to date?
Well, I like to create apps, and
Okay.
in creating apps, I just want to solve my own problems, and maybe I'm the only one that ever uses it, and if so, great. Like,
Okay.
it solved the problem.
First of all,
Yeah.
can you show me this app? Because we started last night, but will you show me? Do you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
This is blows my mind.
So talk to us while you're pulling it up. What's the point of it?
What is the point of this app?
so. I've experienced in a variety of different categories of live cooking,
Yeah.
trying to figure out which restaurant you're going to go to, and figuring out date night. One of the hardest parts is when you start with infinite possibilities.
Right.
You
Yeah.
could go anywhere,
Okay.
any cuisine, any restaurant, any kind of a date
Yeah.
activity. It's just this infinite data set.
Okay.
And the hardest part sometimes, usually, is taking infinity and just starting to create some kind of form out of it. So like the first step.
Mhm.
So it's easier if I were to say like, what do you want for dinner?
Mhm.
Your brain says, wow, of infinite possibilities. Like, where do I go?
Are we talking about a dating app or a different app?
We're talking about like multiple apps that I create.
Okay.
Around.
Because you're a problem solver. You want to solve problems.
Yes.
Whereas if somebody says, do you want tacos or hamburgers?
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly you have a lot more like brain power that you can access that says, okay, well, of those two things, tacos sounds good. So let's do tacos. And so I created apps, both for food, restaurants, and for dating.
And what women you want to go out with that night? Do I have to? Okay, all right.
And there are already a bunch of apps that
Wait, okay,
you know,
okay.
the matching part, but
Okay.
But so with this app, the dating one that I created, you press a button and it just gives you a grid of 9 ideas. Ice skating, bowling,
It's
karaoke, speakeasy hunting, like just a million
That
different.
night, or that
There's a data
weekend.
set of a
So
million different
can I
ideas.
put in what night I'm going out?
Yeah, you could say, here's the date, like
Okay.
plan a date, and here's the person I'm going with, and here's like the calendar date that I'm going, and you can
Location?
assemble. You can assemble, not yet location. I have built the location services on the back end, but I haven't like turned it on yet.
That sounds
Okay,
like
so
a
what
big
if I'm going to New
Yeah.
York and I'm planning a date in New York, or I'm going to Miami, I'm planning a date in Miami?
So for every idea that the app
Mhm.
suggests, there's a Google search option that says search my location. Use Google, like search this idea for where I'm located right now.
Okay, what
So-
if I'm planning it for, I travel a lot. So what if I'm planning it for, I want to go on a date, but I want to go on a date here.
That will be a great feature for me to build someday.
Okay.
But not yet.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah.
So it's for
So
where
this is
located
2 weeks.
right
The
now.
app is 2 weeks old, right? So
He literally
Really?
did it in like what, a couple of days?
yeah,
Okay,
it's about
but
a
I
weekend.
could use it this weekend to go
It's
out.
live right now. You could use it. Like,
Really? And anybody could use it.
anybody could use it.
They
yeah.
could purchase it. Is it, how,
Yeah, there's this like if people sign up right now, I would give them full access to it.
okay, so
just to test it
question,
out.
what if we let like 5 users use it?
Listeners on the podcast.
Listeners on the podcast.
Totally.
If,
I'm right now. It would be great to get feedback. So
okay, so,
lots of like be also.
He's not promoting it
I don't care.
at the moment. He did it just for himself.
Yeah.
It would be kind of fun to just.
okay, well, let's do this. If we have like 5 listeners, leave us a review. Has to be 5 stars though. 4 stars, you don't win. And with the review, they'll have access to yours
Yep.
for
Yep.
free until you.
Anyone that signs up, just if you can get me their email address, I'll go in and make sure that user
They can
associated
have-
with that email address has full access to it,
Okay, full
Wow.
access.
Fun.
which has like AI generation
Okay.
capabilities and
Okay, otherwise you guys have to pay for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
Okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
So
Okay.
but yeah,
I love this.
The idea though, and this is 2025 for me was a year
Mhm.
of it was the year where I really did like re-enter the dating,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was about a 6 or 7 month process for me post marriage to do the work.
Yeah.
At least, which never ends, I feel like, but to kind of do the work and feel like I was ready to like call somebody and ask them out on a date and go drive to their doorstep. And you know,
I feel like a
that whole
couple of
process.
times throughout that year, you took a few different breaks where you just like, it's time for me to just go inward. And I
Yeah.
remember getting like Marco Polos from you that was like, oh my God, I decided I wasn't doing dating for a minute and I have had the time of my life. And like,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
it was always like, it leads to something. Every time you go out, it leads to something and something else and something else. And I'm like, good God, Matt, like
Yeah.
you are the most social being on the planet.
Well, yes, I'm very lucky. I meet people everywhere all the time, right? And one of the virtues of being an introvert
Mhm.
wrapped in an introvert burrito is that you have access to a lot of different people, right?
Mhm.
But I did discover at one point that it started to feel a little awkward because I would meet somebody at like a work networking function
Mhm.
or like an industry event or something, and I think, oh, that person's kind of cute, and maybe I would ask them out or maybe not. But it started to become like troublesome calculus for me. Like, when is it okay to meet someone out versus when do you become this trope? Like, when do you become the stereotype of a man that just makes friends with women so that he can have a romantic relationship? I
Yeah.
never want to be guilty of that. But at the same time, like I want to pursue life and happiness.
Right.
And you meet people organically and
Mhm.
sometimes there's a spark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually curious what your take is on this because, and I think I just actually dodged like 3 questions. In a
You
row.
did, because my first question for you, I'm asking, I'm not letting you dodge.
She's good at staying on task.
Yeah. So my number one question for you, when you said first entering the dating world, you were in a marriage for a very long time.
Yes.
You were in a marriage for, I think, 23 years, correct? What was the first thing that you learned about yourself that the patterns that you had to unlearn or unwind when you stepped out of that marriage?
Wow, what a great question. I mean, I definitely went inward after the marriage, and like the marriage was a wonderful adventure. Like I have like a lifetime of happiness with I look back on it. And so going inward after the marriage was the first most important thing that I did. I like turned all my volume knobs way down for months. And I'm a loud person. I'm a loud, like energetic, in your face, doing the stuff person. And I turned the knobs down. And the best example, like the proof of this, was this one night. It was maybe 2 months after the marriage. I was at Edison House up in Salt Lake City, the social club. And one of my friends walked up to me and I was just eating soup, right? It's like 8 o'clock at night. I'm just like eating soup in a social club. And my friend walks up and said, Matt, the karaoke room's open. Let's go do some karaoke. Now, I don't know how many times in life I've done karaoke. I don't know how many times I've said no to karaoke. I think I've said no to karaoke one time, and it was that night. And so I said, my friend, like, I love you, and I, of course, would love to do karaoke, but not tonight. And that was when I knew, it was like, it just came out of me. And that was when I knew that I was deep in the work. I was doing there.
You can say no.
You can say no. So I don't know that I can pinpoint like a first thing that I learned about myself, but a few things that I have observed is that I think for a long time I was leaning a lot into feminine energy to be a nurturer, and just my view of society. Like, I don't want to be guilty of being this like male chauvinist.
Yeah.
And in many ways, my pendulum it swung too far.
In your marriage.
Yeah, just in my life in general.
Right.
Like, so I never wanted to be dictatorial. And so if we were trying to figure out a meal or dinner, I never wanted to be like the guy that's saying, well, here's what we're going to do. Right.
Yeah.
And after like doing a lot of inner work, I realized that there's a lot of healthy masculine energy that I have that I had just kind of shelved a little bit. So, like planning and just like creating energy towards something.
That maybe it was okay to be masculine.
It's okay to do that.
Yeah.
Yes. And that there's a balance. And there's so many people that this is going to be like the biggest no duh of all time for them. Like, yeah, of course that's okay. For me, this was novel. So like coming out, I was rediscovering that masculine energy, that sort of planning energy, that take care of things energy, which I totally got from my dad. And I took that into the dating world with gusto. Let me tell you. And that's what triggered a lot of the activity of 2025.
Yeah.
So like in 2025, I started going on dates, and I'm just so invigorated by the energy of like, okay, I'm going to plan it out. I'm living in my imagination. It's so fun just thinking about what the date's going to be like. I'm imagining this cute girl that said yes, and what a fun night we're going to have.
And do you think a lot of that was like all the things that you would like had to hamper back and weren't able to do in your marriage?
I just, my spouse was also a very like creative, like proactive planner.
So what kept you from doing that before?
I think she was just so good at it.
Oh, you didn't need to.
Yeah. And I think I also suffered from like always being stressed about like the financial formula of things.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't be responsible for me to go plan a trip to some vacation right now. But then if it was sort of suggested to me, I would never want to say no to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, so in a way it worked out the right way for those circumstances. So to TMI with Matt Riley.
Ooh, our favorite.
We love it. Tell us how to you.
When I started going on dates, I just got so excited and invigorated about the idea of making the plans. And if I'm really being honest, I loved the idea of being impressive.
Yeah.
I loved it. I would say I was almost like addicted to
Impressing.
being impressive.
I hear what you're saying. And I also want to challenge a different thought too.
Okay. Yeah.
Because when I've been talking to you, getting ready for this podcast, I've also heard you shedding old versions of your belief system around dating, what you're looking for. And what I've also heard you say is now I'm ready for, which is also very indicative of going into a horse year with a new identity and a new power. So
There are some
What I
things you
hear
have said.
of a snake here is definitely shedding identities, and a horse here is being very directed of knowing who you are. And it's not necessarily a power in that like gusto, I'm dating, I'm fucking everybody, as much as it is I'm trying to, well, you cry. You're like, can't fuck anybody. But it could be like gusto, fucking everybody, doing all that. And trying to find the inner Matt that is there.
Yeah.
Trying to find that inner identity that has kind of been buried and hidden. And a lot of that can look like a lot of different versions. It doesn't look the same for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm challenging the idea that we're shedding in a way.
No, you're totally right. Like, I would say that I was shedding throughout the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Through a lot of people.
up until like a week or two ago, throughout the entire year, I was shedding this costume.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's
I
beautiful.
think I had a
Yeah.
costume on of how I wanted to show up.
Oh, I love that.
And I was good at it. Like
Mhm.
I was great at
Yeah.
like showing up with a certain objective in mind. But the problem with the costume is that that's not sustainable over time.
Right.
Like a really good friend of mine a few days ago was telling me, your person cannot be bought.
Oof.
And I said, I really wish you had told me those words
A year ago.
12 months ago.
$12,000 ago. God,
That is so true. They can't be bought. They can't be like, you could do the bare minimum and they would be impressed by you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is something we were talking about last night too. The person that you're going to spend money on, is that the person you want to be with? Because they're going to want you to keep spending money in the relationship as well.
Possibly. And that was what became difficult for me to distinguish, right?
Mhm.
Because that was so present
Right.
in so many dating circumstances. I wasn't giving the relationship a chance to just kind of breathe organically in terms of what is it just like to be together
Yeah.
if we're sitting on a couch? What is it like to be together and go for a walk and to make quesadillas and that's like the stuff of your life, right? That's like 98% of partnership is just the sort of ordinary experiences of like managing a life. And, the different things we experience. And yet it was so exciting to plan out these impressive dates. I mean, let me give you an example. Okay. This is just an example of standard first date.
Guys, this is going to turn everybody on, so get your rags. Wipe off your chairs when you're done.
Especially the women, because
Oh, women. What meant to?
there's been,
I'm sorry.
I know, but
You're really mad at me.
yeah, the men are be a little frustrated.
Hey, well, this is where the women say, honey, you should listen to this podcast.
Oh, there's this podcast we heard of.
Yes.
You're
You've
gonna
got to
love
hear
it.
about how they date.
This podcast. All the men listen to this one.
Yeah, men are going to hate this podcast. Okay, go on, Matt.
Okay, so just like
So we can
I'm not
forward
even
this
thinking of
one.
I'm not even going to think of an actual example. I'm just going to give you like this is the standard way that I would do it. If we match on an app, we'll text a little bit, but for me, I want to get to an in-person experience as quickly as possible. And so I'll say, this is great getting to know you. Let's go out. Here's my cell phone number. And I would suggest Friday night if you're available. But if you prefer to stay in the app, that's totally fine too. And I understand that. And then I would get a text on my phone, typically like, hi, this is so-and-so from an app. And then I would plan it out once they've confirmed their availability for that night. And it would be dinner reservations and then reservations for a post-dinner activity or a pre-dinner activity, depending on the weather and the circumstances.
Okay, but hold that thought for a second.
Yes.
Would you really not do a FaceTime or anything with them before going out with them physically?
I definitely prefer to,
Okay.
but
Not always.
not always.
Okay.
Not always.
So important for people to do a FaceTime or a Marco Polo or something so you know.
Phone sex.
Yeah, a little fun. Yes. Just feel the
Yeah, just feel the vibe and the energy of the room.
is satire.
Nice. Satire. That was satire.
This is one of the reasons I love hanging out with you. Your word choices.
Oopsies.
Like, obsessed.
I never thought about doing FaceTime before a first date until the first time that I ever
Orgasmed over the phone.
I'm so hesitant to use the word catfish. That feels like
It's
such
just
a,
awful.
it
It's
feels like
awful.
a felony.
Well, and it was mind you, there was so many times you're like, huh, when I would tell you my dating horrors,
Yeah.
you'd be like, that's interesting. I haven't had anything like that. And then when you finally sent me one, I'm like,
That's it. That the thing. That's what we're all talking about. Yes.
tell me more about how awful
That's
she
so
was.
weird. Like, that's where you have all these things. I never had these things. In my 3 months of dating, I've never had these things happen. This is crazy.
He's like, I've had so many experiences the last 3 months.
So yes, it was about last springtime was the first time I like went out on a date and met up with somebody at like a restaurant. And when I saw them in person, I thought, oh, this is physically, she's not what she looked like in her profile. That was about the extent of my thought process. Like, oh, she looks way different from her profile. And I thought, okay, her profile is her, right? But her profile, she probably set it up like 10 years ago and just set it and forget it. And it's just,
Do you really think that's what happened? You're being,
You know what?
that you're really practicing assuming the best, which is a great.
I
Yeah.
do assume the best in people. I don't
As you
assume
should.
any malice.
Yeah, but you know that's not what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
all I was thinking.
He is a kind soul.
I
You are a kind
I
soul.
did enjoy that date. And it did trigger a lot of like philosophical, like,
Are you honest with yourself? Are you honest with other people? With your other feelings? So
yeah,
okay.
It triggered a lot of thoughts around how do I look at profiles? How do I
Right.
look at and
How do I exit the state?
analyze profiles?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it did trigger a whole flow of like I should be doing more, like at least a voice call
Yeah.
or a voice note or a video call or
Mhm.
video recording. I love using Marco Polo,
I love Marco Polo for that.
but it's tough to ask somebody to download a new app if they're not using it.
Yeah.
You know, that's a little bit much.
Well, you can always do a little video on your texting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done all of that. Right.
Mhm.
So yes, point taken. I do.
It's a great app.
Especially as time went on, right?
Mhm.
As time has gone on, I get much more.
Once you were felonized.
Yes. Once I was felonized. Once I did time. Once they did time.
I know.
You know what one of my favorite Marco Polos I got from you were?
Tell me.
And it's because of the dark, evil side of me.
I have no idea what you're going to say, and I can't wait.
Me too. Me too.
One time you sent me a Marco Polo and you're like, Noreen, I am in a pickle.
Mhm.
And I'm like, ooh, okay. And you're
Go
like,
on.
a girl came up to Salt Lake to date me, to go on a date with me. I'm worn out. Like she needs to go. I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
It,
and I'm
it
like,
broke.
yeah.
We never thought it would happen, but it broke.
Yes. It was a really good learning experience about like the amount of energy
Mhm.
when you're in person, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're with a new person.
Mhm.
There's so much energy required
Mhm.
because you're listening, you're talking to each other.
It's an exchange.
Yeah,
We're gonna pretend like that's what we're talking about is listening and talking
Oh, wait, come on. She goes, uh-huh.
because that is what he's
Uh-huh.
talking about.
I know. Yeah.
I remember that was like a real dilemma.
Let's be real, Matt.
I was having like a survival, like I had a Maslow's hierarchy crisis, and that
Right.
of like, okay,
His lips were chapped.
my lips were chapped, my my throat was dry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
all the things.
We need some chapstick and baby oil ASAP.
Okay, that
Yeah.
experience, that was yet another like breadcrumb on the trail of evidence of like, okay, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Research.
the amount of energy that I was essentially creating, like this mutual energy that my experiences were creating.
What do you
was
think? What were
outrageous.
you doing right and wrong?
Well, I think some things I was doing right,
Mhm.
generally speaking. Like we were talking about the first date
Right.
template, right? So I'd get reservations for dinner and I would plan it out. I would like do a proper plan. I would look at the weather and plan for the weather. And this is not for everybody.
Okay.
There definitely like, there are people who just want to be way more chill and that's totally fine. But I would send a text the day of that's like, all right, I'll pick you up at this time. Unless you want to meet there, in which case I'll pay for your Uber and like, please let me know if you have any childcare costs. Like, let me cover anything.
Insane.
Right.
Remove
Right.
any obstacles. I want you to, if you don't want to go on this date, I want it to be because you don't want to go out with me. I don't want it to be for any other reason. I don't want it to be because you have to pay for childcare, that's too expensive, or you have to drive and so remove all of the like irrelevant obstacles.
It's unbelievable.
You're the ultimate selfless dater.
Literally, yeah.
That's kind of you to say, and you're giving me huge benefit of
No,
doubt.
it is true.
I just really want to be honest with the idea that that's me trying to be impressive.
Well, maybe so.
I know.
Maybe so, but I think you can ultimately put yourself in the other person's shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like how would I feel if I was them? And it was interesting. What did you say again? Like, what did I do right? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
It's interesting that your automatic response was to turn it to yourself and not, and it wasn't what was good for me, what wasn't good for me. Like it was
That's a huge.
it wasn't leaning into like, what did I enjoy? What did I not enjoy? What did I learn from this experience? You were like blaming or shaming yourself for the benefit or the
Good observation.
Not worse. It's probably pros and cons to it, but I
Right, for sure.
always look inward first. And
What can I learn?
What did I do to contribute to this? And I'm not always great at it, but like that is my instinct. I just had to do that. And it probably has some.
Well, good and bad. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't ever change the other person. You can only make tweaks of yourself.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to how amazing I am.
Oh yeah. Okay. This is my favorite. Templates.
So I'll communicate like, here's what we're doing tonight. Here's the time I'll pick you up. Here's what I'm wearing.
I
And
love this. I love this.
And I the first when I went on a first date with the woman I married.
Yeah.
That was like a funny story that we always laughed about because I said, okay, here's what we're gonna do tonight, and I'm gonna be wearing this outfit. I was like, I've been wearing like beige khakis because this is like 2000. This is like 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll be wearing beige khakis and like a polo shirt and sneakers or something. Oh, the best part.
Oh.
And then the other thing on that first date,
I love that.
we get in the car and I put in classical music because I want to be like this righteous, sophisticated man, right? And
You're embodying the person that you thought you would want.
I've always put classical music on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But jokes on everyone else. I actually really love classical music.
Oh,
Deep
yeah.
into it.
Yes, you
but, it was a flex. So anyway, somebody's text out. Here's what's gonna happen tonight, and
Was it the text from your app?
no, but that's
Okay.
why I built that into the app. So as part of the app that I built, like once you create a date plan for a night, and you like say who's the person you're taking out and what date is it, you can press a button and it'll turn it into a text that you can send to that person saying, "Hey,
This is what we're
I'm excited for tonight. Here's the plan." Right?
He's now outing Matt that those texts were generated that he sent to all these rooms.
Technically, I've never actually
used it. Yeah.
Oh,
but it totally will call somebody out.
Yeah.
And that's why I put a tag on the bottom of it. It's like, this text was sent to you by,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you usually do a like dinner and an activity, or like what's your
it depends on season,
yeah.
in terms of what you're going to do. But I love to do like a dinner, and then I love to do like after dinner, one of my favorite things would be to go up to the steps of the Capitol building.
Oh, yeah.
And have kind of like a dessert, sort of a picnic kind of a thing, like post-it picnic, and have a little speaker and stargaze or something like that.
Oh.
Or this is going to sound fake, and I don't mean this to sound fake, but like, I really do love poetry. And,
Oh, you are good at poetry too.
yeah. And I discovered this Persian poet from like 1,000 years ago, Omar Khayyam. I can't believe I'm saying this. This sounds so fake.
Say it.
Sorry, but
Say it.
like, it's real. And his poetry is like 1,000 years old, and it's this Persian, beautiful, like cosmic love poetry. And these verses are so like existential, and it's beautiful. And I don't know, words to me are casting a spell. Like that is wizardry. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They have power.
And so I just like lying down with somebody, and their head is tucked into my shoulder, and there's maybe a candle, and we're reading works from 1,000 years ago from Persia.
Yeah.
You guys.
When they were looking at Orion's belt,
They were looking at the same thing.
at the exact same starlit sky, and being inspired, they're feeling the burn inside. Like I feel it with them.
Yep.
And
So powerful.
so, but as you can imagine, I mean, I don't know the exact number, but I think that I took maybe about 50 different women out on dates in 2025. Most of that was like the first
Half
6 months of the year.
Yeah. This is why you're on this podcast right now, Matt.
Yeah. I mean, I've cycled a lot of iterations, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the data gathering.
What is one of the worst ways someone can mess up with dating?
Mm-hmm.
Do you, men or the women, or doesn't care?
Woman.
Don't care.
Either.
I think there's a lot of ways that we set ourselves up for failure.
Yes. Agreed.
And from my experience, the biggest way for a woman to set herself up for failure is to misrepresent herself.
Yes. Agreed. Agreed.
So whether it's the pictures are off, or whether it's like the vibe of how you're like chatting is off, to me, that's failure. Like if that's intact, then you're just two adults making a decision like this. Like, does this person have what I'm looking for? Apparently. And
Yeah.
like the other thing I think that I have recognized in myself is that I got into a habit that was like persistent through the entire year of going a little too far too fast.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy to do.
It's easy to do.
It's super easy to do. Yeah.
It's
Well, especially when you're romantic, like,
and you're like,
say, like
yeah, a true romantic.
when you, I literally do think that everyone's beautiful. Like, I saw somebody, I'm just gonna feel their beauty. I'm gonna think they're beautiful.
When you
You'll
love
be honest, the women you go on dates with are the most stunning women. I mean, I don't know how he finds these women.
I don't know. I feel so lucky. Like I feel like
do have a light about you.
You do.
Like you do have
and
a really beautiful soul.
Yeah.
And I
somehow
think beautiful women are attracted to that.
Well, I feel gratitude because I just feel so lucky to have had like the opportunity to meet so many incredible women, and even the situations that didn't turn out. There are people that are probably not happy with my experience that I created for them, and I own that. And
Or
I still have gratitude for them, and I just don't have hard feelings towards anybody. I'm like, everyone's beautiful and brilliant and cool and funny. And
here's the other thing. If something doesn't work out, like if it doesn't work out, a lot of times, most of the time, it has nothing to do with the experience you provided. It has to do with where they're at in life. And a lot of times it has very little to do with you. So I wouldn't take that so harshly, because there's been so many times I have not texted a guy back, cut things off, all that, mainly because of where I was in life, not because of who they were.
That's been me completely.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't know where I am right now, and I'm not ready for something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that though that's one hemisphere of a sphere, and the other hemisphere is
your internal.
Internal, right? Yeah. So that hemisphere keeps me healthy. It keeps me from like spiraling into like despair.
I'm worthless.
And the void, right? And death.
Right.
So I think that like exists, that coexists on one half of my brain. The other half of the brain says, cool, that could be true, but is there anything I can learn?
Yes.
And I never come away from a situation and empty-handed on that side.
That's how it needs to be.
Every single time I've been like,
you can always learn something.
Yep. And I think that's the only way to grow and evolve in life is to go internal to a degree, like be like, okay, how can I learn and grow from this rather than be depressed about it?
Well, and it's not just with dating, it's with every situation, with friendships, with as a parent, as in business, with anything. You can't lose from any situation.
Yeah.
You go back to the Thomas Edison story with anything, anytime, you're never failing. You're just learning and you're leveling up, which is what
I discovered 50 ways to
2,000 ways
go on dates that are not my person.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oof. I think her and I have some questions for you.
Yes. What's the one piece of advice you'd give to men dating?
I think it's a multi-step piece of advice.
Okay.
The first piece of advice is, at all cost, thou shalt not proceed until you have done some deep inner work.
Great.
Whatever you need to do, whether it's whatever modality, breath work, therapy, all of the above, do that inner work where you feel grounded. And I've been really guilty of being out there trying to date before I had done that work before. And it was just like chaos. It was like walking around spraying a glitter cannon like everywhere you go. And it was outrageous. But, so that's step one, I think, right? Step two, I would say, is being authentic to yourself and behaving in the ways that are natural to you serves you.
Right.
Because if you're running like a playbook, if you're running like a system, that will by definition like expire. Like at some point, like the real you comes out, and that's either the right answer or the wrong answer.
Right.
And I would just generally believe like the faster you get to whatever the outcome is supposed to be for something, like the better. That's better for both people. And so I've had things that I've read that say, here's like how much you should text before you meet up. And then here's how long you should be dating multiple people before you become exclusive. And I don't believe in a one size fits all for those kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay. Well, we've talked about like
Couldn't agree
texting,
more.
right?
Yeah.
Texting is a perfect example. There was like 2 months where I thought I had anxious attachment disorder because I would text somebody that I was and like just not hear back from them. And then it would make me stressed. And so all the books are like, well, you have anxious attachment disorder. Like you should figure yourself out, right?
Right.
Turns out she was just a shitty text.
She was horrible.
Sometimes this. And so like all of these things were basically instructing me, yeah, you have a problem. You need to chill out and you need to send fewer texts and whatever. Maybe that can be true, but sometimes the other person is just a shitty texter.
Yeah, or a shitty communicator in general.
Yeah.
Right.
Because for many other reasons, like backstory reasons. And it's not just, I have the belief that if somebody's really into you, they're going to communicate with you.
Yes. I agree with that. And I'm a communicator. Like if you text me, I'm excited to respond.
Well, not
I
only
will respond the second I can. And everyone's like, no, you got to like play it cool. I'm like, that's not me.
Well, not only that, like back to like the texting and the thing you said before, showing up like exactly who you are and allowing them to do so. Like the more you filter and the more you change who you are, who are they falling in love with?
Yeah.
You know, who are they showing up as? Because do you really want them to fall in love with a version that you're going to have to like unravel and show later?
Totally agree.
No. And I'm like, the last thing I want a man to do, and I'm sure the last thing you want a woman to do, is put on a show or change for you. I'm like, don't change for me, because then you're going to have to unravel and become a different version that I don't know if I actually love that version.
Don't know. That's right.
Don't force yourself to love me. Like that doesn't feel good. I was like, just leave. I was like, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
If our authentic selves jive, then that's beautiful.
Okay, I want to keep going on advice.
Okay.
Because I have like it like escalates.
Yes.
It gets deep.
Okay.
Show up with as much effort as you can. Right?
Oh, I love that. Yep.
Show up with more effort.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever your baseline is right now, show up with more effort than that. Like find a way to add more effort.
Yeah.
That's feedback that I hear all the time.
I hope every man in the state that is, or further, that is listening to this pays attention, because that is the number one attractive thing. Like that is something that will drive a woman into like, yeah, I want to hang out with you more. I want to get to know you more, because the effort is attractive. Lack of effort is the biggest turnoff.
Yeah. And that is love, right? Like that's energy directionally like aimed towards like an outcome of like a relationship.
Yeah.
I will now caveat that with saying it's okay to like ramp up. Like the first dates that I was planning that were so extravagant and so structured, it's okay to like ramp up into that, right? So I have now implemented sort of a pre-first date experience.
Okay.
Smart.
Something a little bit more chill. Right?
Yeah. And what does that look like?
Like coffee. Like just some in-person sort of tactile, energetic exchange where you can understand, do we have the right kinetic forces emotionally, mentally, and romantically?
Am I going to feel trapped if we go to dinner?
Because like, think about it, that's like a 5-hour. If I pick you up at 6:30 till midnight, that's going to be that's 5 hours.
Yeah, you need a step 1, FaceTime. Step 2, do our energies jive in person.
Yes.
Step 3, 4 days together. Just kidding.
That's step 3 or 4 days. And I know the two of you are the same way. Like if we're having an in-person experience with somebody, it's going to be very present.
Yes.
It's going to go deep really fast. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going to
Mhm.
live at the surface level.
No.
There's no such thing.
Right?
There's
We're going to get into death. We're going to
Mhm.
get into darkness
Yes.
and hopes and dreams.
And laughter.
yes, and laughter.
Extreme joy, extreme
and
grief.
dance. Like the things that like energize our soul.
Yes.
And as part of that, I think that like my final advice is say what you're feeling. Be
Mhm.
expressive.
Yeah.
I love words. I love telling someone exactly what I think.
You're very good with words.
You are
If
so good.
if we're out on a date,
Mhm.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to say, you are so stunning.
Mhm.
Like, I can't,
You do.
I'm in this room and you're with me in this whole room, all the people you could be with. I can't believe you're
No.
with me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to share this energy with you. And I can't even, I'm blinded by your beauty right now.
Mm.
But I only say it if I really feel it.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
You're
It
not
has to
gonna
be
lie.
sincere.
Right.
But that's my advice is like,
Mhm.
when you feel something,
Say it.
Yeah.
even if it's not poetry.
Hmm.
Was that
Okay.
good for my advice to Megan?
Yeah, I
Am I
thought it was
missing
great
something? Is there something I should be saying?
That's number one.
Absolutely.
Number one. And expressive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's good for women too. For sure.
Mhm.
Okay. So
It's
what
like
do you?
the idea of constantly like never make the mistake of thinking the work is done too.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get lazy. Absolutely.
Yes.
Or
I
complacent.
mean, 2 weeks ago, my whole outlook and philosophy, 4 weeks ago, I guess, totally changed. I was like, okay, 2025, everything that I did, the way that I did it, has to sit in 2025. That's the layer of
So we
skin
just
that I can
circle
just shed.
back in a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, yes.
So we need to circle back in a year to hear your new philosophy.
Like in 2027, January 1st, 2027, I'm going to have some radical new outlook.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think about sex on the first date? I don't think you don't like sex, right?
It's not as bad.
No.
Okay. All right.
Not a
Next subject.
Not a fan. Nice subject.
Okay.
You know, that actually, historically, my perspective has always been, let the woman I'm on a date with essentially be the director of pacing.
Right.
And first dates have been all over the place, right? Just kind of
Mhm.
depending on what the vibe is and what their energy feels like.
Mhm.
Over time, I have become much more protective on my own side
Okay.
Good.
of saying it's part of that equation of like, what experience am I contributing to? What
Mhm.
experience am I creating?
Mm-hmm.
And what are the outcomes and what are the patterns I'm experiencing with that?
Mhm.
And I definitely now feel like it's in not only whatever their pacing
Mhm.
preferences are, great. It's definitely in my best interests to pace myself.
Yeah.
To protect your energy a little more.
Yes. It's that whole error of going too far too fast
Mhm.
and implying that like a full-on established relationship is happening
Mhm.
when we're, too early for that to be realistic.
Yeah.
Right?
That is not the response I expected to get
I
from you.
expected it. I expected it.
You did? I feel like.
If you have dated enough, sex does not become a priority.
Uh-huh.
In the beginning, it is a priority. Like it's something you want to experience. You're very curious. You're very excited. All of these things. But
Mhm.
after a while of dating enough different people, you start to realize how it really is not
Mhm.
number one. Like the connection, getting to know them, whether they're aligned, all these things. Do you want to give them that experience? Because not only is it a gift to you, but it's
Mhm.
also a big part of you to them. Like there's an exchange, there's an energy exchange. You have to decide if it's worth it.
Mhm.
And like,
Like it or not, it just triggers
Mhm.
a little rocket launch, and like the stage 2 rockets have now,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's a trigger of a stage
Right.
Yeah.
that just is true, right?
Mhm.
And and I know that there are sometimes I've heard men talk about, oh, like you should not date a woman if she's willing to go that far on a first date. I don't believe that.
oh, I don't.
Right. I don't believe that.
Absolutely
Do
reject
not believe that.
I think that's an awful
Yeah.
Mhm.
stereotype. I don't even know what to call it. But
Well, and it goes both ways with
Yeah.
men
Oh,
too.
for sure.
And so it's one of those things that's like, you have to analyze, okay, this is where my cocky side comes in.
Mhm. I like it.
Has he put in enough effort?
Mhm.
Like, because you can get free sex anywhere. Like,
Right. Sure.
trust me, I've been through my hoe phases for plenty of years. And so it's like,
We're all grateful for that.
I'm
Yeah.
so grateful. You
Yeah.
have no idea.
but like, to make them fucking work for it, make them work for it.
Mm.
I think whatever your motivation is
Yeah.
right?
I agree. Whatever feels right to you.
And I do think this is another area where, again, getting introspective with like the energy I was putting into first dates or second and third dates being very
Were you looking for an outcome?
well, and that's what I had to go through and ask myself was like, okay, am I subconsciously using the structure of a date and using this whole toolkit of trying to be impressive for ulterior motives?
Right. That's
And
very honest.
certainly I would never consciously do that.
Right. Yeah.
That is just not my ethos.
It's not who you are.
And subconsciously, though, there's all sorts of things that can.
Yeah. You're like, maybe.
Right, like maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to
Well, it's an
believe.
option.
Yeah.
That's one thing is you can put it,
Maybe
put it as an
hope.
option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Right. When I experienced it, I didn't quite understand it until much later. But last summer, there was an experience where I've been dating somebody and invited her to come meet my son.
Oh, wow.
And she like politely declined. She said, yeah, I don't think that feels right for me right now. And I said, okay, no problem. And at the time I thought, like, wonder why she didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a big deal, but it just was like a thing I observed. Later on in the year, especially like as like in the last couple of weeks, looking back at the year, I see how much wisdom she had in actually enforcing that boundary.
Yep.
Like that, there was so much wisdom in that. And that's like another thing that I've added to the list of like, okay, let me have boundaries around a variety of different things based on like, where are we in this cycle? Where are we in the process? What actually makes sense? And, you know, love bombing is something that I probably have been a little guilty of in the earliest stages. And then realized just from thinking about it, I was like, okay, the problem with love bombing is that it's a manipulation tactic.
It is. It is.
Whether I am using it that way or not.
No,
that
you can
doesn't
be
matter.
completely innocent.
I can be completely innocent.
Yeah, that's another. I don't think your intention was ever bad with
No.
it.
Yeah.
I don't think you were trying to like psychologically like manipulate someone with love bombing.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, there's this like really fine calculus. There's this fine balance that you have to find where you're being your authentic self. You're high energy, high effort into the dates that you're planning. You're creating experiences that are good experiences, that are like great things to do,
Yeah.
but not breaching the level where you're being manipulative.
Yeah.
And I was a Mormon missionary in Russia in the 90s.
Oof.
And my technique out there, all we could do was knock doors. That was like the only legal missionary work we could do. And so my whole motion was like knock a door and say, hey, who's there? And say, we're missionaries. We talk about God. Is that a yes or a no? Like literally. And they would say, not interested. Great. Thanks. Bye. And move on. Right.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, that's kind of how I've been with dating is like, hey, here's me. On my profile picture, you're going to see that I have painted nails. You're going to see like my things about my philosophy. You're going to see me represented in a few different ways. That's me. If you're in, let's go.
Yeah.
And then we go on a date. If you're still in, let's go. And if not, that's okay. Like,
Yes, that's the point. That's the point of dating.
It's nothing personal. It's just this is me.
Which side note, for anyone that's got profiles out there, any women that have profiles, my perspective on profiles. This is just my point. But first and foremost, it should be really obvious which person is you. And it shocks me that I would even have to say that as advice for people.
Right? Yeah.
So step number one is it should be obvious which one's you. And sometimes we don't have control over the sequencing of like which photo was shown when. I get that.
But you have a profile picture.
But understand that you don't have control over that. So any picture that you put in there, it could be shown first. So make sure that it's obvious which one's you. Second of all, this is just the marketing person in me.
Yeah. I love it. Just say it.
I wouldn't post a picture of myself next to an Olympic athlete with his shirt off.
Oh, come on, man.
I wouldn't, right? Like,
I love this.
Yeah. As a woman, probably not
don't
ideal.
post pictures of yourself
Yeah.
where there are one or more massively more attractive people than you in the photo. Just don't.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
right?
That's a good one.
That would be like
Especially
me,
for girls.
because it's setting me up. Like I'm looking, I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. There's 3 really good options in this picture that I'm attracted to, and I get to the next picture, I'm like, it's
It's the ugliest one.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't do that. Right?
You know, that's how everybody feels about me and my friend group. It's like all of them are stunning, and then there's, oh, what is she doing here?
That is absolutely not true. Absolutely not true, Noreen. Zero true.
You know, it's funny when I have a date.
We've now entered fiction hour.
We have
Podcast.
these doughy eyes that are stunning.
But when I had my profile, like when I had my dating profiles, I had lots of pictures of us girls,
Right.
like when we'd go out on the town and stuff. And I think I got more traction from those pictures than my profile pictures. Because it's kind of
That's
intriguing.
interesting.
As a man, wouldn't you think that's kind of intriguing to see? Oh, she's got a lot of
Actually,
friends.
it's like
He's probably thinking of a threesome, foursome.
I'm not, but other people might. But
Right. That's not my thing, but
but there is actually. That's funny you say that because
That is
I have
interesting.
noticed now that you say that I have noticed myself saying, okay, if it's one person surrounded by other beautiful women,
Mm-hmm.
there I feel like a little shallow even saying this, but it's really honest. Like I do make some calculations around the company they keep,
Yes.
how they spend their time.
Mhm.
So that's a good point. Good point.
and
Yeah.
you are just as beautiful as everybody.
Thank you.
You are. Okay.
Oh, by the way, if you're not on the app, deactivate your account.
Oh, that. Yes.
Okay.
Please, for
I did
love.
not know this was a thing. You actually have to fully deactivate it, not
It-
just pause it.
Deleting the app from your phone
Does not do it.
does not do anything. You must, in the app, pause your profile, deactivate your profile, whatever the
I-
platform is. You must do that. Otherwise, we have to run a calculus formula when we're on the apps and we're matching
Mhm.
people. And that calculus is how many people do I have to like send a rose to or swipe on or whatever in order to generate enough responses to trigger a date
Yeah.
or multiple dates or whatever I'm looking for, right?
Yeah. But did you know that not all apps are that way?
Oh, okay.
Like there was an app I was on for a while there that the second you like pause it or like archive, like it's kind of like archiving your
Okay.
profile. So it's like deactivating your subscription, but it's still there if you decide to come back.
Like I'm dating this guy for 1 month, but I'm not sure.
Pull up on anybody's feed.
Okay, but you still probably have to do something
Something.
archiving and
Yeah.
whatever. So whatever the
Sure.
platform is, do something like that. Just as a huge favor to men because it costs us money
To send
to
roses.
send roses, and
Ooh.
all of the apps cost us
Interesting.
money, right? To be able to like.
I have not been on a dating app, but I have been on my daughter's dating app. And I'm like, can I swipe on 5, please? She'll be like,
You?
no. Oh, no. She's for her. She's like, choose for her. I was like, can I choose for you, please?
Your
Or my niece. Yeah. I was like, she's never, let me help you. Yeah. She's like, I have to prove it, though. I was like, maybe. Okay. So if you ever see me on it, then I'll get comments like, oh, I saw you on a dating app. I was like, that definitely was close. Sorry.
That's my daughter.
That's probably my daughter.
If they tell it to me, I'll be like, yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
Probably do it.
Are you ready for your next round of questions?
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Round 5, hard truths. You
Oh.
ready? What actually kills attraction?
Lack of reciprocal energy.
Ooh,
Oof. That is.
so true.
Absolutely a total deal stopper.
I love that one.
Mhm.
Okay, what keeps a man chasing?
I don't like this question. I hate this question because it's the game. It's the
It is a game, though.
I know, and I
You
reject
keep.
it.
I know, but sometimes you keep going.
Oh, I know. No, here's my answer.
Okay.
It's the same answer as before. Reciprocal energy.
Oh,
If I'm texting you and you text me back, I will.
keep going.
I'm in.
Okay,
I'm in. That keeps me.
reciprocated energy. I love that. Okay, what makes a woman unforgettable?
I think like the visual, right? Of like we first meet up for a date, and I will always remember the visual of every date of like we're sitting at the dinner table of a restaurant, and I can see your hair, I can see your face, and your eye contact will be everything.
I think I am so with you on this one. Eye contact means so much to me.
I agree.
It means the person is present with you. They are looking into your soul. You're looking into
They
theirs.
have the ability to sit present.
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. And not just any eye contact. I feel like
Say it.
I'm so sorry to half the men I've dated. But when they're like really trying to get intense and they're just like, Just like,
There's one person you dated that was kind of,
oh my God. I just
I
cringe.
know who
I think when it's sincere, like when it's born out of curiosity and interest, then that's when it's the right eye contact. If it's born out of like this
Intensity that is like, God, put your eyes away.
maybe living in their imagination, right? If it's that intense, they're like not even listening to what you're saying.
Stop undressing.
They're like blah blah blah. Like, wah, wah.
Your eyes going wider
Is
is
that
not making the connection.
a nude and I can walk away?
Right.
I know what you want.
They're probably that like, and that's the thing where they're sitting there with like, okay, I've got this checklist, and one of them was eye contact. Okay, let me be really good. Let me be the best boy at eye contact.
Next question. What makes a woman easy to walk away from?
Besides being catfished.
Aside from the obvious, like there wasn't like a vibe, there wasn't like an attraction, like meanness, like lack of kindness, just
Empathy.
yeah.
I love that answer.
Mm-hmm.
A mean person is the most unattractive person.
I'm not saying like raging.
No.
I'm saying someone who demonstrates a lack. To your point, someone who is demonstrating a lack of interest in how other people.
I say it goes both ways. I say for us, and we've talked about this before, it's a man who is rude to the waiter.
Oh, yes.
Perfect example.
Yeah, a man who is disrespectful to any, like, someone's coming in and out, someone's getting seated before they should. People that are rude to strangers.
Yep.
Like, for a woman,
Can't handle it.
Yeah.
I pick up on that immediately.
Yep.
I was like, you're rude to someone you don't even know.
Yep.
Like, that's the biggest turn off for me.
Went out with
It's like, I'm not going out with you again.
I went out with somebody who was telling me about a situation with a family member,
Mm-hmm.
and she was very convinced that she was right with how she had treated this family member.
Mhm.
And when she described it, instantly I was like, this is
Not going to happen.
absolutely
Not right.
like,
Not okay.
not okay. That was probably the most extreme experience I ever had of like a light switch just getting turned off
Yeah.
instantaneously.
Yep.
It was an instantaneous, I'm super interested,
Not interested.
not interested at all.
Gone.
Yep. And I think, this is so good because a while ago you described it to me as diva energy versus goddess energy.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I like
Those
that.
words I was like, yes. Like, are you going about life with grace or aggression and like just unkind?
The diva wants the world to bow to them, right?
Mhm.
The diva wants someone in front of them rolling out a carpet and
Expecting things that are
and
unrealistic.
like everyone needs to conform to how they are moving through space.
Mm.
And in some cases, there's some power to that, right? There's some power
Mhm.
in like saying, I'm going to be here and I'm going to take up the space that I deserve to take up.
Mhm.
Great. But there are times when it crosses the threshold into being like psychotic, like you are simply uninterested in anyone else's space.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
There's not
That's
a
what diva
reciprocated receipt.
It's a very much like everyone shine your lights towards me so that I can be charged. And the goddess is the source of the light saying, I have infinite light. I will shine it on all of you. I love all of you.
You talked about this.
Yeah.
We talked about this in our last podcast.
Yeah.
Oof.
Anyway.
I love that.
That's
Okay.
beautiful.
What's the biggest mistake women make?
I hate telling women that they need to do something or that they should do something differently, right?
Mhm.
That doesn't feel natural to me.
But what you see is lacking.
But grace goes a long way.
Right.
And in my experience, a lot of women want to be communicated with in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And they believe that the way they want to be communicated with is the right way. Like like Plato's, this is the correct way to like communicate something tough, for instance.
Yeah.
And speaking as a man who errs on the side of extreme transparency and honesty, it is injurious. Like it is hard trying to figure out, how do I tell somebody something a little difficult, not knowing what their preference is.
Yeah.
There are people who want a text.
Mhm.
There are people who want a phone call. There are people who want an in-person. There are people who want whatever it is their way, and they believe that if you don't do it that way, then you're the devil. But we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
And I think this is where you could go back to, there's another one that's, I think goes back to the 4 agreements, is to assume the best.
Yeah.
You can assume the best of intent in somebody, and or we were talking about before with another subject. You can assume the best of intent in somebody, and if you choose not to, that's probably not someone you want to be with anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So you are already misaligned.
That's right. In the end, in a way, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
If it's misaligned, it's misaligned.
Yeah.
But it does help preserve just a little extra energy that doesn't need to be expended, like people feeling awful when
Yes.
they don't really need to be. Cool.
I agree.
Right, but it expends the energy on their part, which never belonged to you in the first place.
Yeah, good point. I mean, it can even go as early as the dating apps themselves. Like I was on an app one time, and I had a few conversations that were active, and something that was happening in real life made me want to basically pause those conversations. But it's hard when you're still in the app because you haven't met the person yet.
Yeah.
And so you're thinking, well, I'm interested in this person, but this thing that's happening in real life is further along in the process, and it is therefore more available to me to experience. So I'm going to pursue that. But I don't know if it's going to work out. I have no idea. And if it doesn't
Have you
work out,
communicated that before and just said,
yes.
yeah, I think that's great.
And just this is where, like, again, a little bit of grace goes a long way. Like one time there was one person on the app where I said, hey, I got to actually pause for a second, but it's complicated. And she kind of pushed. She's like, well, what's going on? And I said, well, this is what's going on. And her response was like to scoff. She's like, oh,
Then that's not
these
someone
dating
to
apps.
be with.
I know.
Yeah.
But still, it creates, like, you don't have to scoff.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can just
You can
disengage.
be kind.
You can, like, whatever. I take that personally.
But according to you, Matt, that was beautiful that she scoffed. It was beautiful because that discovered a level of a layer of her that's probably not something you'd want to deal with in the future.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that, but
Kindness goes a long way.
It created a lot of energy on my part that didn't need to exist, because if she was already gonna not engage, because we hadn't even met yet,
Right.
all she had to do was just unmatch with me,
Yeah.
right? Instead of like mocking, instead of
Go off the
creating
rails.
this,
Right.
this
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Right.
No, I'm speaking on behalf of men here, right? I'm gonna fight for our break.
That's why we have you here.
Take
That's
very
why
last
we're here.
question.
Okay.
It's the last one. What do men notice first but rarely admit it?
Boobs.
I knew it.
We were waiting for that.
He's a big boobs man. Big boobies.
Um,
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I love seeing the difference between men that are boobs men and ass men.
oh yeah, there's a huge difference.
One time, John's son told his teacher that his dad was an ass man.
You told his teacher
He
that?
told his teacher and the class that his dad was an ass man. And I love that. Goes into parent teachers.
Okay, was his teacher a male or female?
Female. Dad goes into parent teachers. And she's like, so I hear you're an ass man.
Objection, Your Honor.
It's actually
Please,
like,
miss.
It's like, oh, really?
yeah.
Did you hear that?
She's like, from your son.
Son.
Street
Yeah.
in 8th grade is
It's been getting around the classroom.
wow.
On that note, I think it's been an honor to have you on here.
Here's mine. I've listened to every episode. I love you. I adore you. I worship you.
And
You are sources of light. And
Yes, genuinely, Matt, we feel the same way about you. This is
lucky
why.
as shit to have you in our corner, because I feel like you have given me, especially, I mean, probably her too,
Oh, absolutely.
like some of the best feedback, like positive and like constructive and all of this. And we appreciate it. And
thank you. Like I said, I never say things that I don't mean.
Yeah.
I love you both.
Yeah.
thanks for being on here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yay.
Hey,
See you all out there on the apps.
all right. Then
Rate us, review, give us feedback, comments on Matt's amazing tips. And
Yeah, tell us everything I'm getting wrong too. I'm not being
Right.
like,
And he also,
Silly.
something I didn't include earlier, he also has an app that he showed me about, tell us a little bit about restaurants.
oh yeah.
Okay. What is it?
It's Scheffel.
Shuffle. Okay.
You're trying to figure out either what to make for dinner,
Right.
give you suggestions. They'll be like, hey, here's 3 ideas. Do you like them?
And then, you're right. And then
Restaurants too.
love it.
I'm going to put both of those links here, and then we will give you access to one of the 3. We'll let you choose. If you are one of the 5 people that we select, we'll get your email address and stuff. So, all right.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.